dream, we really lit this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.
And now we're back for Act 3, and it is getting crazy.
Hello, Ian.
We've already talked about 4 of these parallel universes, and now he's on his 5th parallel universe, and this is right after he lights.
Hold on. What? Hold on. Last time on Silver Street Breakdown. Go ahead, bring us up to speed.
Oh, so make sure you go listen to part 1 and part 2 if you have not. But where we just left off is Ashton Kutcher going back to his 7-year-old self, Evan, to try to get this blockbuster so he never blows up his arms
Again.
Killing the love of his life, Kaylee, as a 7-year-old. It gets real dark real quick. And then flash forward, he's in a mental hospital. And it's like everything that was pretty much happening to his dad has now, like, we assume.
Only now he'd been in there since he was like 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
Oh, really? Since he was 7?
Well, because remember, he goes back to when he's 7 now.
And kills her. And
yeah,
kills
and whatever.
Oh,
so, whatever
when he's scurrying, getting away from the security, in his mind, he's actually 7 years old?
No. This is when he's coming back now from his trip to that 7-year-old version of him. So he comes back.
So now he's been in the mental institution since he was 7.
He was 7 years old.
From him lighting that thing in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So now it's him running, and so that's how they start the movie, is him running around, right? Because now this is him getting hit with this realization, right? Like, okay, fuck, this is this new version now. And of course, he's gonna sound crazy as all hell, right? And what did she say? You're starting to sound like your dad, always screaming about these goddamn home videos, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Photo albums that never.
It's photo albums, and it said, and he said, "Oh, word," because they're like, "Yeah, and your pops, he actually stayed here." You know,
and by the way, everybody, that scene, what we're talking about, was at the very beginning of the film as a foreshadow.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so now
it was
intense. Come back to that scene multiple times. That it's been rewritten now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead, Hus. Because now I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Alex. Let's go, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Now he's in the mental hospital, and I mean, that was one. I think that was his second blackout. I think that he ever had, and so now that none of the journals ever happened, or I mean, they should have. At least, I mean, that's one of the things that was a little bit different, because he should have written at least one passage in there, like the school passage or whatever. Like,
I mean, but see, but that all never happened now, right?
Well, no, the part with the hand, like the school part. Remember where he drew the picture?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that part happened. But you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, he had the blackout, and he had the blackout after the Robin Hood event, and that's when he said maybe you should keep a journal. So maybe it was where the timeline is adding up.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Those are his portals into different parts in time, right? So if he, the moment he changes something from one point to the next, and from that point, if there was no, all those journals post that event is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And see, and I wonder, the thing that's kind of crazy is, like, he's going back to when he's 7 and he's living his whole life. And the way that the doctor's talking to him, he's like, you're always talking about these different, parallel universes with colleges and prisons and all that. And I wonder when he would be talking about that, because I guess he would have these
blackouts.
He would always have. I guess he would have always had these memories, right?
I mean, okay. See, this is where it gets crazy, right? Is because every time he creates a new iteration, all those memories flood into his mind, but it's not like it erases.
Oh yeah, they flashback, right?
Yeah, so it's like now he gets brought up to speed, but he doesn't forget the other iterations neither, though. So you know what I mean? When he's telling the shrink that shit, they're like, "This guy is level 3 crazy. You know what I mean?
And that's what's wrong with like when he keeps having all these brain scans and everything. Like he even said, I think it was
His brain keeps reforming itself.
Yeah.
Like memory wise, right? So doesn't he get like a tumor or some shit?
It's something like that, and and that's what they think is gonna like fuck him up. And he was like explaining it, and he was like, "Yeah, I got like 10 times or like 4 times the amount of memories, or like 40 years worth of memories or something."
And they're like,
"Year-old brain."
Yeah, Evan.
And we do get little spurts of like the mom, just their relation, him and her and Evan's relationship, and kind of talking about the dad a little bit. And like it's all kind of in the first iteration where he's asking about the dad, and he's like, what was he good in college, or was he good in school? And she was like, oh yeah, he never even had to like pick up a book. He was always always getting good grades.
I'll bet you because he kept writing. Listen, you know what's crazy, bro?
Well, it's the same thing with Evan. What happens with him?
Like if you were able to like if you mastered it, right? And you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna write about everything that happened yesterday. Yesterday or today is blah, 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 blah. Then the next day you get the lottery ticket numbers and you just read that shit. Today was a good day. Now you're in the day before. Boom, buy a ticket.
Yeah, he even asks his mom, like he's trying to get the information. He's like, was he ever able to go back? Was he ever to go back and like, revisit these blackouts years after he blacked them out? And that's what kind of comes in play right at the end as well.
It was just when his mom was on the in the hospital, right? By this time.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention that. That was a quick part of.
And I kind of got to. My girl works in mental health, right, or for years, and we were actually watching this joint last week together.
Oh, cool.
Because she never watched it, you know what I mean? I thought we were gonna do it last Friday, so I said, hey, watch this joint with me. And I remember that was her gripe with that part. She was like, man, it must be like a really low security. Like if he's so like such a danger, he's in there his whole life. They just got him walking around and that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just walking around all willy nilly, man.
Yeah.
Especially like you see Nelly. I mean, not Nelly.
Well, that's me, man.
He's like,
Lenny.
I gotta put me in there.
Remember
Lenny, look at me.
When Lenny killed fucking what's his name, Tommy? I mean, he's strapped up, like
Yeah,
like,
he's off the feet. That was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be an
5150. That's what they would declare when they declare you 5150. That means you're a danger to yourself and others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that was definitely an inconsistency there, because they both would have been treated the same. Because even like remember he has the nosebleed when he comes in, and then he just like storms into the shrink's office.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. His
And you know what? What they're supposed to do right there is just it's okay, Evan. Yeah, sedate. Hit him with the sedation.
You don't want to over-excite them. Come down, put them in a quick trance.
Yeah, just hit him right in the buttocks with some sedation.
Ooh.
Down. Evan, it's okay, Evan. It's me, your doctor.
Yeah, see, and that was
one of my journals.
he tried to kill himself in the previous one before that. And the reason why I think he didn't go, Tommy saves him from killing himself. But then he goes and sees his mom, and like you read the doctor's like report, and it says that she was smoking like 14 packs a day and started chain smoking. So then she got lung cancer.
She got lung cancer.
So that was another reason why he had to go back and change it, because he was like, he's over everyone. Fuck Lenny, fuck Kaylee, like fuck Tommy, like. But he had to go back and change it.
So a lot of cleaning up to do. He's trying to change everyone. It's like he's got all these things in his hands. One falls out. One he holds one. He can't hold everything at once enough.
Man? It's crazy.
He's doing a juggling act.
It was a butterfly effect. That's what it was.
To watch and ditch her and see how she ended up.
It was the goddamn butterfly effect.
So crazy. And then it's full circle with like the dad stuff and talking about the photo albums and all that. And so he asked his mom to bring the old time movies that they used to record. And then it goes all the way back to them, like what, maybe 6 or 7. This is the first day that they meet, some birthday party.
It was his birthday party, right?
I think so.
I think it was his because that's why the dad had the movie of it. And then he's in that motherfucker. He's like, listen, bitch, you come around me, I'll fucking
Oh,
kill
yeah.
you.
Oh.
You and your brother. Listen, I've done it. Believe me. I've done it.
Okay, that part. That was crazy.
And she was mortified. But see, that's the extremes.
That came out of his mouth.
Well, and what it was, there was
I'll kill you. You come around me anymore.
And see, he keeps learning things like as he progresses through all these universes, because everybody still has the same mind, you know, even though they're going through different things. And it was when she ran away in the second one where they were together living that perfect life. She said that when their parents split, they had a choice to go live with the mom or the dad. And even though she hated the dad, she went with him because she knew she wouldn't have been able to see Evan if she was with her mom.
So now
another nail in the coffin to make him feel bad, huh? Yeah. Guilty. She cared for him so much, and he just never went back to see her.
Didn't come back for her.
Right, Bogey?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm starting to hate that Evan character. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, he created a tornado of hurt for everybody.
Isn't it crazy that you remove him from like everything and everyone's living perfect lives? I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, okay, take me back. Whose idea, starting with the blockbuster, whose idea was it to begin with, right?
Tommy's,
right?
Yeah.
Tommy had the blockbuster. Tommy's the one that tried to put the dog in the bag and kill the dog and burn the dog.
Who did do it?
He did do it.
Yeah, he did do it. That guy was sinister, vicious.
He could have just called the cops. Like they did call the cops. Remember, they campus security, but he was so. It's almost like he had a blackout during that fight with Tommy and just kept going until he killed him.
I don't know. I think he was angered by like all the fact that he's having to go through these different universes because of what this guy did. You know what I mean?
Well, that was in the second parallel universe.
That's what I'm saying. When he beat him to death, he beat him to death with the beach stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He beat him with the bathroom stick.
Yeah.
Well, hey Nelly, what you said? They said they use sandbags because that shit was like those little sounds.
Yeah, there's those other sandbags used for like blocking water and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
those, about. Boom, and it's got that sound, smack, and you got the force. You can punch them as hard as you want; they're not going anywhere.
One thing before we wrap up the movie and everything, one thing that I do want to ask Nelly, because I always like to get your input, being the Hollywood actor, here, of course. How would you approach this? It's like, okay, like Lenny, for example, he's playing like 4 or 5 different versions of himself. You know, Tommy's playing like 3 different versions, of this character. What do you think that whole process was like?
Yeah, we'll say the actor who played Tommy, he was good, because when you saw that good Christian Tommy, it's like he was a total different dude.
Yeah.
He was the scariest version to me, man.
Was that?
That's how the Christian Tommy was the scariest version to me, man. There was the look in his eye, man.
Well, it's quite the contrast, but he was a nice boy though, Bogey. He was a nice boy. It's like even if you have the way I look at it, it's more extreme of doing a scene, and then when the director asks you to do it a different way because you don't know what he wants, all you know is what you've read and what you.
They actually got to do that in different ways.
Yeah, so it's more extreme. So it's you take that times 10 because you're playing a different character. So you got to be able to change it up. There's some actors that, man, like let's say they're doing the same character. You ask them the director asks, or anyone, even if you're just doing workshops or classes, hey, do it differently. Do it like this way instead of that way. And a lot of actors can't even change it up.
They can't do
it. Because they're already married to the way that they're doing it?
Yeah, they're already married to the way they're doing it. And then there's a skill level that they're not able to do it anyway.
You know what I would do?
Right, some of them just can't do it. I had to learn to do it myself.
I would learn it. If I had a bunch of actors and there's like it's a real intense scene, real like an angry type of scene, I would go in and fake fire everyone on the spot. If I'm right. All right, now use it. Action. What did they really fire us right now? Yeah, motherfucker, you want your job or what? Show me anger. Action.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher, he was the only one where his character just kept progressing, you know, throughout the movie, but his whole story stayed the same. But yeah, like super trippy with
because
Kaylee.
he had one stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
That was what, you know, it wasn't like he came back and didn't remember nothing. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah,
oh my
like
God,
Kate, like Amy Smart, for example. Like you think these actors are like tapping into the traumatic experiences, what are going on? Because like you said, in the first one, the first parallel universe, you know, she's little bit of a townie, looks like, I mean, she's fucking traumatized, you know, like crazy. She commits suicide. But then in the next one, she's this uppity college chick who has like, you know, nothing wrong. Like, you know,
she had the widest range of outcomes because
Yeah, she did. She did.
You know what I mean? Like
that's tough to do as an actor.
What's that?
It's such a
tough to do to play those extreme roles like that. Characters.
Yeah, and be young as fuck, huh? They were fairly young. You know,
yeah.
Amy Smart, how old is she?
She was probably mid-20s at
the time.
At that point, yeah, because I was maybe they're filming it in like 2003. She's born in 76.
Okay, so like
my sister's age.
2 years younger than me.
Yeah, and so, I mean,
my era
goes from being super traumatized to being like, I don't know, just looking like she has the perfect life, to then being a heroin addict, you know, who's selling herself, and then now back to like almost looks like a wholesome chick who's dating Lenny, and then
she was hot when she was the prep, and then she was a heroin addict. It was like,
she was. Hey, listen, I'll say it. She was totally out of Lenny's. Totally out of, what do they say? Out of his league.
Tommy.
Out of Lenny's league.
Oh, Evan.
Come on.
Evan.
No. I'm talking about when she was in the version when she was with Lenny. I was like, oh, come on, she ain't fucking Lenny, man.
Yeah.
Like, Lenny Builder? Nah.
You know what's kind of crazy?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I was like,
the Lenny character like really trips me out because he's like getting bullied, you know, in the first one, all the traumatic experience. And he's like, I don't know, like a sheltered child, like a shell of himself, you know, and then we see him in the third one, and he's fucking in a mental hospital. Same kind of traumatic experiences. In the next one, they don't have those traumatic experiences, and he's got this confidence and swagger about him that he never had before. Like, if you remember, he's like,
damn it, Lenny, you're supposed to be timid.
He's pushing Evan, and then he starts making fun of someone like, hey, like, I saw that girl you went home with. She have to borrow your razor, you know? So like, he's the one who's kind of
people. He's the one that got the swag now.
Yeah,
the swag Lenny, that was tough. That was a tough one to buy. You know what? I thought he'd be chubbier as an adult. I think he slimmed down a bit. Didn't he look like he slimmed down a bit?
Maybe he got taller, lost a lot of the baby fat
on him. He had the baby fat on him for a long time.
Because the cool Lenny looked actually cool. He looked like a cool dude.
And Marty said, do you think he would have stayed in the wheelchair with no arm if his mom didn't get lung cancer? I feel like he would have kept trying to commit suicide. Because everyone else had like a perfect life. It was like him who was like fucked.
He was like a couple days away from jamming blades into his nubs and going out like Baraka. Just want it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
He like that no arm bit.
And you know what, too? I mean, like, was Lenny cutting his hair? What was it? Her? Someone was keeping him groomed, right? He had no. I mean, like, he was shaved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was he shaved? No, he was scruff. I thought.
Well, I think he had like a goatee or something, but in the next one after that, then he's all super scruffy. When he's in the last one, when he's in the institution, he's all.
I mean, listen. So you mean to tell me he miraculously mastered the art of shaving with his foot? Like, you know, come on, man. That Lenny was a stand-up guy. The only reason he couldn't stand it, he was like, I gave them a happy life, but he's like, man, fuck this.
Lenny was too perfect. He was like, he was fucking up his life before, but now he was too perfect, and he was jealous.
Right? Butterfly.
He was jealous. So he was getting Kaylee. They were fucking right as he woke up to realize he had no arms or like no limbs, no hands.
He's like,
but right before that
somebody
realization,
give me a hand job.
he didn't see that it was Kaylee though. He just saw that he was fucking around in the bed with someone, right?
Yeah.
Because he didn't seem upset at first.
Oh shit!
He wasn't upset at first, was he?
He was so upset that he couldn't whack off watching them fuck. He was like, somebody.
Oh man, bogey, man,
I'm
bogey.
sorry, these are the things I think about.
That's good. It's good. And then we cut. Then there's another scene coming out. One more parallel, right?
One more parallel, and so now he breaks into they're in the mental institution. He breaks into the big office or whatever, and his mom brings a projector with some old movies, and we talked about it where he goes back and tells Kaylee, "I'll kill you and your whole damn family," and then he wakes up. He's in a dorm room with Lenny, and he was like, "Where's Kaylee?"
And he grabbed Lenny. He pulled his pants down, smelled his dick up. That didn't smell like her breath. Where is she?
Oh, bogey, man.
These are the things I think. Come on, he's been through a lot.
He's through hell and back.
And then he
How about a bogey?
Oh, he went into the Matrix.
Bogey, he was about to come out with something good. I know it was.
So it just wild, it's him and Lenny, and we have no idea what happened to Tommy and Kaylee. But then you get like the little, cuts to like however many years later. It looks like they're in New York or something. Evan's probably a psychologist, or something at that point. And he walks by Kaylee, and he recognizes her and has to look back. But Kaylee also recognizes him. It's not like they never met, but they only met one time, and it was like she did the double take. Did I meet that guy once upon a time?
Did I see that ending? When I watched that, I go, man, I've seen an ending similar to this in another big movie.
Yeah.
Did that ring a bell at all?
You know what? I can't put my finger on what it would be. But they did have an alternate. This one did have an alternate ending with the director's cut. And so it's a little bit darker as well, because this one, there's a little subplot about the mom having multiple miscarriages. And like Evan is like this miracle baby because she had 2 miscarriages before. And this family movie is the mom giving birth. And Evan goes in and chokes himself with the umbilical cord, and he's never born. And it's like, wow. And it's the third miscarriage that the mom had now. And so it's like, it opens up this big parallel of like, who were the other 2 brothers or sisters who may have gone through this whole thing, but then they go all the way backwards.
And you have that cut?
Yeah, it's there's
DVD?
Yeah, it's on the DVD. It's just instead of when he pulls up the projector, instead of it being like them at the birthday party or whatever, it's like the mom giving birth. And so everything else is the same, and minus there's one deleted scene in there as well where the mom
really dark,
kind of talking about her having 2 miscarriages, and then Evan being like, the miracle child. Yeah, I got Marty never seen the director's cut either. He said, "Whoa, what the fuck? That's wild as hell." Yeah, because it's not even really like a happy ending, at that point. Like he kills himself in the womb and is never born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think that's why they didn't go with that ending, because it's a little. I mean, like if I watched that, if that was the real ending, I would have been like, man, fuck that shit. I like the end that they did go with, like the cinematic, not the director's cut, but the actual, because it leaves it open to interpretation. You know what I mean? Now they're in New York City. They're both successful. And, it's funny because he's probably figuring out, I haven't seen what my life is like this time, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. The whole time, like, he's figuring out that he's walking down the street and sees her, man.
Well, remember we talked about if they were ever going to, like, remake or reboot or whatever, with that alternate ending being the 2 miscarriages before, there's more room for a crazy story, and it would have nothing to do with Evan because he's not even born at that point. But, like, these 2 other kids living their entire life going through the same thing, but somehow going back in the womb and like, strangling themselves to like never be born.
It's pretty. See, here's why I call bullshit. Like, so now he goes back into the baby, and he's conscious like, listen, where's that umbilical cord?
Well, because it's the 21-year-old version in that baby fetus version at that point, right?
That's true, Marco.
Yeah, happy endings are easier to sell in Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And seeing he got rid of all the composition books, and all that kind of stuff. Seeing, that's the other part to me. If he never met Kaylee, like he wouldn't even have the same composition books. Like they would be
but
different.
But see, we got to go back and see now what birthday party was it?
It was when they first met.
Okay, but what
nothing? Yeah, it was before.
What age was the birthday? Because remember, he said he started doing the journals at like age 7. So if this was like an 8th birthday party or something, you know what I mean?
But it was after they met. They didn't know each other.
Oh man, that makes me really mad.
They introduced them, and Kaylee, this is Evan. Evan, this is Kaylee, and that was they got introduced. So I think it was before their mom and dad split, is what it was.
Here's an important lesson I'm gonna say from what I'm taking from this movie: you never meet your soulmate when you're 6, bruh. You know what I mean? He's like, listen, bro, this is the only one I'm finna be taxing my whole life. I don't know about that, man.
He never
I
went
think
back.
he could though.
He never went back for her though. That wasn't going to be his soulmate. Never went back.
You're right.
Until he did, and then she killed herself.
How upset is he at butterflies right now? He's like, he's walking to New York City. He's like, God damn it! But he saw her though, bro. I wonder.
Maybe it was Meet Joe Black. Did they have a scene like that?
That was a good. I love
in the
that
crowd.
Movie. I dropped the fuck out of what's her name. What was her name in there? Oh my god, she's so.
I don't remember her name. She only did that movie, a couple others, and she was just kind of disappeared.
Didn't she do like what? That was the same chick in like Wedding Crashers, right? No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No. I don't know what else she did. I know she just did that. It seemed you never.
She was like, "Fuck it, She was hell. She got to work with Brad Pitt. That's all you needed, right? And who is it? Hawkins, man.
When you're a ginger, what does that mean, Marco?
Well, the gingers are the redheads. I
know that, but
I don't know who the ginger was though. And
but why would you never meet your soulmate when you are a ginger? I know what a ginger is, but why don't they meet soulmates?
I don't know, man.
Marco, I'm stumped.
We're gonna do a new style of rating. You ready for this, Nelly Nell? We're gonna do a new style of rating. Remember back in the day when you used to rent movies and like there would be like 5-day movie rentals.
I remember that. Do you guys remember that though?
I rented movies.
Come on, yeah, I remember all that shit.
Hell yeah! And so the way that we're gonna rate these movies now, okay? You buy you're either buying the movie, which you got to own it because you're going to watch it multiple times. A 5-day rental, that means you're going to be watching it more than once, more than likely. 2-day rental, it's all right, but we're going to get rid of it pretty quick. Same day rental, it's trash. We had to return it right away.
Oh, that's easy for me. I would say easily a 5-day rental, if not, what's the buying it, you said?
Yeah.
Would I buy it? No, you know what? I would do a 5-day rental because you have to watch it more than once. And then twice it wraps up. But then the twice, you're still going to miss something. So I would watch it a third time to see what I missed on the second time. And that'd be good.
Yeah.
And then when I watch it, I don't see myself watching more than that because it's kind of depressing. I don't know. It's still, it's a thriller, suspenseful and stuff. But it's still kind of like those scenes that we talked about, the melancholy in those scenes, like when he's in the wheelchair saying, do you think it could have worked with us?
Yeah.
He's like, remind me of that. You know what remind me of? Captain Pike from the old Star Trek, remember?
Uh-huh.
Remember when they did it was called The Cage, episode?
Okay.
I think it was a pilot when Spock was on trial. You guys remember that?
I don't remember that one.
I bet you Crispy remembers that.
I'm more of a Star Wars cat versus a Trekkie, so you know what I mean?
Anyway, well, this guy was in a wheelchair, the old Captain Pike before Captain Kirk, right? And then he just couldn't move, but a button would go, a green button meant yes, a red button meant no, because he couldn't move. And that's what it reminded me of. And he's just sitting there. He's just like,
yes.
And she's like, no, I like Lenny.
Yeah.
Me and Lenny have something good now.
And it's like, listen, have you seen Lenny? He's so hot.
He is a killer. He just killed your brother.
I'm
Probably
telling
always
you, he's really a piece of shit.
What do you think, Bogey? How are you rating that on the scale that we just talked about?
I probably copped the movie. I actually bought this movie after renting it, type of shit.
Because he bought the movie already.
Well, because when this came out, I used to collect DVDs and shit, like, you know what I mean? But when this movie came out, when was this? 2000 what? 2004. So I was still, we're still renting shit. You know what I mean? And I remember renting that joint. I was like, this is hella good, bro. I'm gonna buy this shit. And then I was already seeing my lady now, and what we used to do back 20 years ago, we would go to Walmart or go to Hollywood Video because they would have the used section. And then in the Walmart, it was brand new, but it was the $5 bins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where then, what I'm saying? I bought the Goonies. I bought what's a really good movie? Dream Catchers. I remember buying that shit.
Oh, I saw that.
It's really good.
The Goonies. You got the Goonies shirt on now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I went and got I remember, we used to buy movies, and that was one of the ones I bought. And she never watched it with me until recently, so it was kind of cool.
Crazy.
I remember there was a fat kid off the Goonies too. Wasn't there a fat kid off the Goonies?
Yeah, we gotta do the Goonies.
Yeah. I think a lot of those shows had one fat kid,
Stand
by Me did, I think too. There's always a fat kid that got left behind, or his glasses broke. Huh?
Talking trash too. Doesn't happen these days. There's no more no fat shaming in Hollywood.
I know, that's the thing. No smoking, no fat shaming, no jokes upon jokes.
And that's what's great. This whole movie, they're 13 years old and they're chain smoking. At 13, and I know that's real.
Yeah, they're chain smoking. That's right.
That could have been more analytically correct, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It probably is, but you won't see that too often now in Hollywood.
I was just saying,
Lenny couldn't run. He got left behind. They had to drag him.
Wild.
Because he's so fat.
So for this one, for me, I did buy it. So this would definitely be a buy for me.
You know why I buy it?
Not a consistent watch, though.
I would buy it because it'd be one of those joints, and this used to be one of those joints for me where I'd be like, hey, it would come up randomly. Oh, bro, you ain't never seen Butterfly Effect? Here, hold on. Throw that bitch on. It's one of those ones bro, you gotta watch that shit's a true. Who Ashton Kutcher, bro? The rom-com motherfucker? Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, bro, this shit's hard.
Super
so so yours is a buy for you. We're
buying it. And video stores, what I was gonna say, video stores were the best for buying used movies. Because if you were gonna go to a department store, a Walmart, a Target, or whatever, you're usually getting them there brand new, and it's usually top dollar. But the video stores, they had so many copies of them that got rented out. They were always trying to sell a bunch after the wave of the movie being so popular. So that was always something cool about the movies. I got a bunch of Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, movies here as well in the collection.
Let's all go to the movies. Remember that shit?
La 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 la.
Let's all go to the movies.
That movie, it was so all over the place that we had to really focus to really review it properly.
Yeah.
So we could have to go off tangent on that as opposed to Slapshot or something.
Yeah.
You see Slapshot?
Yeah.
Right. So it's the rinky dink plots. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
But this is fairly complex, to be honest with you. When I watched the first time, I didn't even get that he was jumping through all these different multi-dimensions or dream states and how they connected the two. When it went back and they jumped ahead, but it related to when he went back.
Yeah.
I didn't even really tie that together until I thought about it after I watched the second time, right?
Well, and it's like you said, that's why you have to watch it a couple times back to back almost.
Minimum.
Right? It's when you're watching it for the first time, you have ideas of what's going on. The first one, where's my clothes and all that, so we kind of have an idea what's going on. And then the next one was we know they're waiting on big Blockbuster to blow up. We don't know what the hell happens, but we assume it blows up. Then you go back and you see it all going back, but the second time you watch it, it's you're remembering what happened during his blackout. So it just changes the game.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah. And let's wrap this up. And if you guys didn't hear, if you guys missed it, we're going to do Shutter Island next week. So another trippy movie that we're going to be able to watch here. And
so we're doing Shutter Island. Okay, I'll get that queued up.
Yeah, let's do Shutter Island, and we'll keep it going on the Fridays.
He's back.
Yeah.
I think the way that
they didn't want me
every
to tell
Friday,
that story,
everybody,
man.
every Friday.
Yeah, so Act 1, that's going to drop on Monday on the podcast. Act 2 will be Wednesday. Act 3 will be Friday. So we'll keep that going. And then, any kind of bonus content that we get, we'll just throw that up on Saturday. That'll be good.
Yeah, boys. Yeah.
That's a cool structure, man.
Yeah.
It's a cool structure because then we could we could have content for this specifically throughout the week and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nelly, why don't you remind everyone where they could follow you at on Instagram before we get out of here?
Oh yeah, Nelson Tynes. It's TYNES. Just put that in. You can put underscore, but you don't need underscore. And then you can watch any of my I put a couple montages of commercials I did over the years, then all my acting snippets, all the films and TV shows I did. And that's on YouTube. I have a channel there, Nelson Tynes, and a demo reel. You'll see me there with Painful, Superman, did a scene with Dean Cain. That's on there. The movie with him and Portia de Rossi, she's in it. And so check me out. Check out some of my work.
And if you haven't heard the podcast where it's the first time Nelly Nell is on the podcast with us, it's a big interview. So go back and check that out.
Oh, back in December. Yeah. When I met you two cats.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good.
And now we rocking, B.
Bogey, what do you got to shout out on the way out? What are your parting words?
Yeah, man. My parting words is always this as such, man. Universe, give me money. The earth is my turf. All that shit.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on both podcasts, the Fantasy Football Hustler podcast and the Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. We'll see you guys later. Peace out, everybody.
Peace. Have a good night and good weekend.
Silver screen, motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.